do they fancy me or not? That awkward place where you fancy a bloke and you don't know if they fancy you back, and you're waiting for them to ask you out on a date, but you're trying to gauge it. Maybe you're flirting, maybe you've been hanging out loads, maybe you've been texting loads, maybe you matched on Salt and you've been literally talking for weeks and you're like, is he gonna ask me out or not? Well, we're gonna talk about that situation today, so get cozy, me duck. My name is Ray. I'm in my closet today filming, and I've got a lovely cup of coffee, which is much needed. We're gonna have a bit of a girls chat today, okay? But blokes, if you're here, you're very welcome. Well, actually, I'd love to hear what the guys think about what I'm gonna say. Imagine we're in a cafe chatting about this. This is what I'm imagining, and I'm just feeling this situation because I have been in this situation myself in the past. I have seen my friends go through this situation. It is just a big situation in girl world. It really is. So can we just talk about having a crush on someone and how big this can become in your mind? Because it can become almost a drama in your mind in itself, and especially you start talking about it to your friends and they're like, babes, he totally does fancy you. And then you start talking about it and you talk about all the details, all the things, all the texts, all the looks, all the situations where there might have been a little glimmer of hope that he does fancy you. And then it can become bigger and bigger because your friends know, and then you're just so much more aware of it. So it becomes this like big thing, and it's kind of fun sometimes, isn't it? It's exciting and you're excited for each other. That might be person, but what about the times where it just doesn't happen? You know, should the girl approach the guy, ask them out? What do we do in that situation? Well, okay, I have come to this conclusion. If a guy isn't asking you out on a date and you've been hanging out loads, you've been texting loads, assume it's a friendship. And this should bring freedom, okay? But it might be a bit upsetting as well, because maybe this thing has been going on and on and on for ages, maybe even a couple of years. You've been best friends. Maybe you see this guy every single day, or he confides in you about things and you're really, really close. You're kind of in this place of like, oh, I don't know if you like me. I really like you, but I don't know. If he hasn't asked you out, assume it's a friendship. And do you know what? If it's got to a point where it is costing too much in your heart to see this person all the time, then you have full permission, my darling, to distance yourself a bit from this relationship. So this is my perspective on it. Like I say, take this with a pinch of salt, because, you know, in a couple of years I might change my perspective a little bit on this, but generally I do believe that men are wired to pursue women a bit more than women pursuing men. Now, saying that, I do know a bunch of couples where the wife actually pursued the guy and they're married now and they're happily married with children. So I say that with sort of like that awareness that there are, of course, women, like, you have full permission to pursue a man. So I do think that men are more wired to pursue, and I think that women are more wired to be desired. We see those dynamics very naturally, like so much, where, yeah, the woman is the one who is being pursued. If you don't think you are worth fighting for, or you're not worth being pursued, I want to say you are worth being pursued, and the right person will see you and have blinkers and they will gun after you. But then those situations where you're not being pursued, it feels so heartbreaking. So assuming that you have a friendship, I think, will naturally guard your heart. And if you come to that place of like, okay, I'm just going to assume that we're friends and there's nothing here, and that crush thing has become such a big thing, I really think that when you come to that rational decision of like, okay, we're mates, then that intense crush will probably most of the time just calm down a little bit, and you say to your friends, I'm just assuming friendships, and tell them that you're assuming that to guard your heart as well. And of course, if it's a situation that's been going on for a long time, like I said before, don't be scared to talk to them about it, because it might be make or break. I think sometimes this is another situation that I've seen over and over again, situations where there's kind of a thing going on, like you do like each other, but actually the woman is making all the effort and the guy is isn't making an effort. The right relationship with you, it'll be a beautiful back and forth. It will be a mutual effort, mutual sacrifice, mutual affection, mutual. So to round it up again, guard your hearts if you're in a situation you've been spending a lot of time with someone and they're not asking you out. Assume it's a friendship. And if it's really bothering you that much, and if it's come to a point where maybe you've fallen in love with this person, don't be scared to have that conversation with them and get that clarity, because your time is precious and you are precious. Yeah, that really matters. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Let me know your thoughts, guys. You know, what's your perspective on that? Yeah, what are your thoughts? Would love to hear. Love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.